Good afternoon, Missio Day. It's great to be with you again for another week's 3 things that you should know about life in our church. Last week was a great week for us. After a 13-week break, we were able to gather in person at the school for a live worship gathering where we sang Jesus' praises, where we studied his word together, and where we were able to experience the love of Jesus through the love of his people. It was so good to be back together at the school. If you were not able to join us at the school, I hope you were able to take advantage of the live stream that we had. It's our first ever live stream service. We're going to offer the same thing moving forward, hopefully, as well. But it went amazingly well, the live stream, all the technology. A huge thanks to the team, the volunteers that pulled that off, that put it all together. It was a lot of work, but they did a great job getting it together for us, and we're all blessed by that. And hopefully it's a good reminder that even if we're not able to all be in the same room at the same time, we are all still one church worshiping one Savior together. So here's the plan moving forward for the next few weeks. Again, we always have to take this kind of a week at a time and see what the wisest decision for us is as a church to love each other well. And what it looks like we're going to do this upcoming week, the 21st, is we're going to be back at the school at 10 o'clock, Woodman Hills Elementary, following a very similar protocol to that we did last week. So that means before the service, we would love for you to fill out an RSVP form. There's a link below this video, and just let us know whether you're coming or not. Even if you're not coming, just let us know so that we know how to prepare and how to best serve our church. If you are coming, let us know how many seats we need to save for you so that we can maintain that distance and keep everything up to the way the district is asking us to gather in their building. And just a quick reminder of what it means to gather in their building is that we all show up and wash our hands as we enter the building. We have our temperature taken and recorded as we enter the building. We wear masks the entire time that we're in the building, and we maintain that social distancing of 6 feet the entire time we're in the building. And one of the things we need to add this week that we didn't do last week that we should have is dismiss by table. That way, as we're going out, they've asked that we dismiss a little bit at a time so that people have the space in between as they are leaving the building. And all of these things, again, it's the requirements that the district put out there for all the churches meeting in their buildings. We're wanting to be good guests and to honor what they've asked us. We have sent a letter to the district asking some of those things to be tweaked so that it wouldn't be quite so burdensome for some people to come worship Jesus as a church family. But along those lines, if you are one of those people that wasn't comfortable with the church's stipulations, I want you to mark your calendar for June 28th, 2 weeks from now. Even if you're not one of those people, mark your calendar for June 28th. We're going to be holding a live worship gathering outdoors at the school. We'll be using one of their fields, and it will maintain the 6 feet of social distancing. We won't be hugging or anything like that, but we'll all be together outside, and it'll be a morning of singing Jesus praises. It'll only be worship. There won't be any teaching. We'll do some prayers and some responsive readings and things like that. But the main goal is for us all to be together, with the spacing in between us. As we worship Jesus, sing as loud as we can so all the neighborhood can hear how great Jesus is, and just it'd be a way of us being together even with all these the distancing requirements that are out there. If you're someone who's not comfortable with the idea of coming together and there not being as many regulations, we want to make sure that there's a space for you to perhaps stay in your car and you can participate that way, where you can join in the singing and everything but not be exposed as closely as other people if you're not comfortable with that. Because the goal during this whole season is how can we love each other well as we continue to grow in our love for Jesus and worship him as our Savior. So those next 2 weeks, those are the plan. This upcoming week is Father's Day, and just wanted to let you know that we're doing the same thing we have for the last few Father's Days, which is we have Dad's root beer for everybody. And so everyone that comes to church this Sunday will give you a root beer just to celebrate Dad. I also want to always remind us during Father's Day and Mother's Day and those events is that we don't all have the same background as far as our biological or earthly parents go. And some of us, Father's Day, just like Mother's Day, can be a challenge. And so because of that, I want to remind you of a sermon we did a few weeks ago. It was part 10 of our 1 Corinthians video, and it talked about this idea of spiritual parenting. And whether or not you have biological children or adopted children, whether or not you have a good relationship with your earthly dad, we are all called to be spiritual parents to people that are younger than us or behind us in the faith. And that way we can reflect for them what it means to honor God as our Father. And so it's a great reminder that no matter what our background is, we're all called to be spiritual parents. And on days like Father's Day and Mother's Day, we can just celebrate the role that we all play in each other's lives, discipling and loving each other and spiritually parenting each other towards a closer relationship with Jesus. So quick recap, what we're coming this Sunday, similar parameters as last week. Please respond to the link below. Let us know whether you're coming or not. I forgot to mention actually, the same thing is happening with Missio Kids. So 9:40 in the lawn, all the kids will show up and you can sit outside, and one of the Missio Kids teachers will be teaching through a gospel project lesson. We will film that and then email that out for parents who weren't able to attend. The video from this last week is being edited currently, and it will be sent out later this week. That's this week, 10 o'clock at Woodman Hills Elementary. Next week, the 28th, weather permitting, we will be outdoors. You can't plan in Colorado very well with the weather, but if the weather allows, we'll be outside worshiping Jesus together as a church without some of the regulations that the district put on us. And then the Father's Day, happy Father's Day to all you men. Continue to invest in the spiritual children as we proclaim the gospel and love people who don't know Jesus yet. So love you guys and hope we can connect again soon.